Oh, you expected a new podcast to start today.
We're ready?
I think we are. We're
All right,
recording.
Can you hear me well? Or
Yeah, we're
going forward.
Why don't you get in a little bit closer?
Cool.
Actually, let me give you a book.
Yeah, I'm getting scoliosis. I'm like,
Raise it very carefully.
Oh, look, Batman.
Year one.
Year one.
The animated.
Year one.
Fuck you, Frank.
Wait,
Miller.
what book did you give me? I want to see this. An actor's prepare.
Take the hint.
I'll fuck you. Hey, at least I have the degree in acting.
Well, you know what? That's nice for you. Do something with it as AI comes in. Okay, let's try it out.
All right, let's do it.
We know how to do this.
Yeah, we know. We know what to do. We're professionals. Right, cool.
Hello, everyone. This is Julius, and I am here with a podcast. Now you're
What are you fucking?
I don't.
Dude, it's been a while.
It's been a little bit.
when a veteran podcaster has forgot how to talk.
Jamie, pull up how to do a podcast.
Do a podcast.
Hi, everybody. My name is Julius, and I am here with a new podcast starting on the Bumbling Cinema channel. I'm here. There's a lot to catch up on in terms of lore here.
Indeed.
For those who may have been following my previous adventures, as they are, you'll know me from the Goat Movie Podcast, possibly, and you'll know this other voice. You'll know this other voice as someone who was definitely on it as well.
Noah White.
Who?
Everyone ignored the podcast.
Oh, they ignored. Well, that was the point.
That was the point.
I hope they continue.
I hope they
so.
continue. Yeah.
Don't ignore this one. Welcome to the Bumbling Cinema Podcast. My name is Julius, and this is Brian here.
Hello.
I want to start a hopefully weekly thing of podcasts where we talk about films and everything. Obviously, this is a movie-based channel where we're creating our own films, and Brian, it's pretty fitting that Brian and I start this because Brian and I
guess so.
were the co-leads of the podcast.
You started this, and I guess I would be your first official,
yeah,
and also with the COVID thing too, when we went back on when you invited me a random
on Zoom.
Oh yeah, on Zoom.
Back when you had a bald head.
Yeah, back then when I had cancer.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
back on the chemo.
we starred together with Andrew in the podcast.
Indeed.
And we're just kind of finding our footing again. I ended Ignore This Podcast on the Goat Movie Podcast last year during the summertime. It was hot as hell. And now it is cold. We've been having some microphone troubles today.
Oh my god!
Trying to get ready for the shooting of our new film.
Don't be working.
It doesn't work. How do I do the podcasting again, boys?
Jamie, pull up the notes.
Can I get some fucking good lav mics?
The thing that stayed with us was Julius's COVID.
Yeah, actually, I'm getting over the flu right now.
Well, that's good. I'm happy for you. You know,
we're actually tomorrow going to start filming the new short film that we're gonna premiere.
On Golden Hour.
Golden Hour.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited as well.
It's a good project, people. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. But what I want this podcast to be is just kind of like 30 minutes of bullshitting, and then the rest.
Excited. Oh,
and then the rest is the movie we're gonna talk about. And by the way, Brian, I think you can attest to this that
30 minutes of bullshit. I can.
You don't know what movie we're gonna be talking about.
No, I have no idea.
I know what movie we're gonna talk about
because I asked him. I was like, "Hey, you want me to prep for this?" And he said, "Just talk about movies."
The cinema.
The cinema.
You do know about cinema, don't you? I hope to get more people on, especially people who are going to be working with us in the future.
Of course, yeah. Recurring guests.
Guests.
The homies.
Of course. Brian, thoughts on the podcast, the short film we did?
How well it went. Not that I was going into it like, oh, this is going to be
Julius
bad.
doesn't know what he's doing.
Julius is but I went. You're gonna have to cut that out, Major. You know what? If you do cut it out, people won't understand what I said.
Julius is
going to sound bad. All right, but...
That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, you should. Good morning. You should put that. But I hear. But going into it, because I've shown you my films I've done, right?
Yeah, the puppet one you did.
The puppet one, and then when I was younger, I did like a zombie film.
Yeah.
So I thought it was gonna be like in that, like it's gonna be cool, it's gonna be campy, and I'm excited for it. But looking at like how well you actually understand the process of how films are supposed to be, which I'm shocked
because once again, Julius is kind of
ooh la la. Ooh la la. But no, Sebastian will tell you this too. Mm-hmm. When we grew up in our high school, we knew a lot of people who did films, right?
Right.
Or tried working on films, and they had money and they had bigger budgets, and the films didn't come out good, right? They never came out well. There was no heart within them. Felt plastic, but they looked nice. Mm-hmm. Your film looks amazing on alone, and with the amount of work that you put in and how you know how films work, it came out amazing. Because
that's nice.
You not only brought in a lot of your friends to do this project, which I always love and stuff like that. I think that's the one thing I love about like watching Adam Sandler films or like a Robert De Niro film is I know who to expect in the film, and so it's awesome to see everyone hang out with them.
You put Adam Sandler before De Niro.
Yes,
just for the record.
Yeah.
All right.
I want it to be on. I want to be on record.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. A little bit. But I love the project. It was awesome. I loved like going up and like what was it until like 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night.
Oh my god! Yeah.
With having the red dye
and the the red dye. Yeah, that part
where I was allergic to it, which was awesome.
We have that on film.
We do have it on film.
You saying, Jules, I'm fucking allergic to this shit that you're putting on my face. And then when I heard that, of course, what do?
I put more. Yeah, you put, dude. He straight put this like fucking neo dye bullshit.
It was
the red 40. The red 40
for water.
Yeah,
like a cherry flavoring.
Yeah,
for
Neo.
your water. Yeah, the Mio. Yeah,
Mio. It's Mio. Yeah, it's Mio water. So he put that all on my face, and he straight up tried drowning me. Like he tried waterboarding me, and he's like, "Brian, are you okay? I don't mean to drown you." And you're spraying this shit, and I'm like.
There's a scene in the final cut of the podcast where Brian is coughing up blood, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And it's real because he's actually dying. So you went real method for that.
Of course.
For my art.
And the other method was what was it? Right here. There was two instances. One, when Andrew tried hitting me for the pretend hit.
Yeah.
And he actually did hit me.
Yeah.
But I didn't respond because I was just like, ow. and we were like, fuck, that would have been a perfect moment for me to actually follow through because I actually got hit. Mm-hmm. And the second time was when he and me were practicing it. I fell accidentally on my hand. I think that was the one that you kept in for the final cut. And I love that one because it is me falling.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, any physical ailment that I may have brought on upon you.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Officially.
But it's good cinema.
But it came out good, right?
Good filming.
Good content.
Yes.
Yeah, so we had a great time, a long time working on the podcast, the short film. Yep. We recorded the podcast itself, which maybe, who knows, maybe in like a year after the movie came out, I'll release that for fun.
All right.
Because we have the bloopers out right now.
Yes.
There are some posters. There's the Instagram, the Bumbling Cinema Instagram that you can check out right now.
So, Julius, where can the lovely folks find this important information about Bumbling Cinema?
Well, to be updated on all sorts of projects that are coming out regarding this channel, Bumbling Cinema. Of course, you can look at the... Of course, you can look at...
Do you want to retake that? No.
Jesus. Of course, you can check out
As you can see, a bumbling...
bumbling idiot.
Idiot is taking control of Bumbling Cinema.
It's been a while. But you can check out, obviously, the Instagram page, this channel, this YouTube channel. Yes. There's a website, bumblingcinema.com, that has all sorts of cool goodies on on there, and yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, so I'm sorry, people. I'm getting past the flu right now.
No excuse.
No, there's no
in the podcast world.
No technological excuse. You better get on the grind set.
You know what? Here's a real question that I think everyone's been wanting to ask. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Can you name 10 countries? Sorry, I just had to do that.
I cannot.
All those really bad podcasts out there.
Texas. Soon.
You can stop with that.
They're working to it.
They're working to it, yeah.
So, Brian,
yes.
I guess the main question is regarding now starting a new podcast, obviously, and we're working hard to make this new film.
Oh, yeah.
What do you kind of expect to happen with these the series of podcasting? Like how long do you see this happening?
Honestly, I can see it going on forever. You know what? I couldn't. I'm not even gonna lie. I think you're really dedicated to your craft, and I know that when we talked offset when it came to the Go Movie podcast, I know that you loved the project and you had, I guess, from our conversations, a little bit more passion when it came to a lot of the projects and stuff like that. So I feel like you're passionate. As long as you're passionate for it, and as long as you're willing to wake up every day and deal with the strife and the hardships of what happens with making these films, I think you're going to continue this until you die. I
think that'll be soon.
I can't. Folks, I'm gonna stab him at the end of this.
I either think it or I hope it. No, it was a lot of fun making these movies and these podcasts and everything, and I'm very excited to get different people on. Hopefully the fucking computer and the microphones will let us do that.
Hopefully
because
the new recording that you bought.
the microphones that I got
so cherished us on the
on the group chat.
Guess what I got, guys? A piece of shit.
I picked up, just so in case anyone's curious, I picked up these wireless microphones for they're known for the lav use. So the clip-on mics that you see in interviews or documentaries and everything. And these are Comica Boom XD 2.4 gigs.
Never buy them.
Gigahertz digital wireless microphones. Buy the Pro.
Buy the Pro, yeah.
The Pro version can record on itself, collects the data. This needs a whole interface
separate stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and
a bunch of other random bullshit.
I'm gonna return it, and then hopefully we can use it during the production of Golden Hour because I do want some crisp audio.
Exactly.
Audio is very important to me.
It is,
obviously, and you know the process of in the past with things like Star Wars Lightspeed.
Oh yeah.
And Dear Mick and even the podcast. How important audio is.
Oh
with
yeah,
this.
especially with Sebastian's birthday gift.
Oh yeah,
that was necessary when it came to audio.
Do you want to explain what the birthday gift was?
Of course, we have a mutual friend. I just mentioned him earlier.
Sebastian.
He's Colombian. I just want to emphasize that
his hair looks like Fruit Loops.
Yes, he does. He looks like a professor of ours, and if he denies it, he's wrong.
Just don't name the professor.
Of course. Snape.
Potter.
But no. So Julius came up with a great, amazing idea to make an album for our great mutual friend because he loves music, and so we all wrote different songs. Julius wrote all the fucking songs. I think
I wrote the ones that really hit. Sebastian.
All right, fuck you. Yeah, I fuck you.
What am I gonna wear, right? Is it gonna be sunny? Is it gonna get cold? Is the climate gonna change like it always does mid-walk? Okay, fine, I'll take a sweater just in case. So now I'm encumbering myself with a sweater. And now I gotta walk.
Yeah, he wrote one that was saucy, and another one that was like a ooh message, and another one was just making fun of him for everything. And then I wrote
a rap song in his voice.
And then I did a remake of Ram Ranch. With stocks, because he loves stocks. And then finally, I wrote one. I found a punk video, and I thought it would be interesting because he was always anti-establishment.
Yeah.
So I wrote a character. I think you helped me also somewhat write it too.
Yeah.
with the rhyming scheme of it, but it was anti-Seb.
Oh yeah,
where it's someone who is the antithesis of Sebastian. He hates the environment. He loves capitalism.
He looks at grass and gets angry.
Eats meat. He loves to walk. Because Sebastian hates walking, but he's an environmentalist. I don't get it. It's not real. It's another liberal lie that we need to admit.
Can I? I have a Sebastian story, and it also ties into film.
Oh,
because listen, when I bring in Sebastian on this podcast,
yes,
you'll all hear him, and you'll know what he's like. Okay, instantly.
Yeah.
And if you heard "Ignore This Podcast," you already know what he's like.
If you did not heed the warning, then you know.
Here's the thing about Sebastian. I was watching. It was during a band practice that he and I had, and we were in the living room of our friend Miles' place, right?
Yes.
And we were watching as our bandmate Ben was setting up drums, setting up drums in a recording program on his laptop, right, in the other room, and him, Miles, and I, Sebastian, Miles, and I were in the living room watching Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And Sebastian got all snuggled up on the couch, laying down, grabbing a pillow of Miles's, and was like, pretty much like spooning with it while watching Chamber of Secrets. And I saw him and I was like, you look a little too uncomfortable right now. So I'm going to ruin this film for you. God. Okay? So do you know what I did?
What did you do?
I kept on bringing the American perspective to Harry Potter.
Oh my God. Because
those movies are very British.
Yes.
Obviously. Yeah. So I kept on whispering to him, but like when Dobby shows up, it's like, hey, he's trespassing, right?
Oh my God.
You know what we do in the States, the people who trespass, right? And then he's like, could you shut the fuck up, please?
Would Sebastian be our Dobby?
He's Dobby.
He's Dobby.
Yeah, because he keeps on bringing this shit up unnecessarily.
Oh
And I kept on saying, if I were the president during this whole Voldemort battle, I would launch a tactical nuke at Hogwarts, right?
Oh my God. Oh, speaking
he
of
was getting
Harry
so
Potter,
angry.
I finally saw it after all these years.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I watched that along with doing a whole marathon of all the Lord of the Rings films and the franchises.
For the first time?
No, I've seen the Lord of the Rings prior.
Okay,
but
good.
For the Harry Potter, I've never seen it before. So it's my first time watching all the films.
That's impressive.
Yeah, no, I used up my Christmas break for good, for good effort.
For Harry Potter.
But no, I finally watched it. It was cool. I kind of liked it, but I'm not gonna lie, I like Narnia.
For obvious reasons.
Yes,
because the line is Jesus.
But no, I mean, I grew up with it more. I'm not gonna lie, so I like it a bit.
Santa
better.
Armed those fucks.
Oh my God.
Santa should have given me.
But I will not read those books.
An AR-15.
I don't care what anyone tries to convince me. I will not read them.
I want fan art of you
in
Narnia in that scene with Santa.
Santa,
and he just gives you an AR-15. I'm gonna Photoshop that now.
Please, and give me the pistol grip. I don't want any of this bullshit. Liberal LA fucking unattainable gun. I have to go fire at the range.
Lucy, you get a little dagger. Brian gets a gun.
Hell yeah. Dude, I'm gonna shoot that witch from across the yard.
The battle's over.
I'm fucking, imagine I was on the villain side and you see those fucking eagles coming down throwing the rocks. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. They turn a fucking stone. Have you seen that, Narnia?
Yeah. They just fucking fall and crumble. I love that. God. Dude, it's
one
funny.
gun could finish that whole fucking battle.
Could change the whole course of Narnia. See, what's funny about that is that it reminds me, the way you described it, it reminds me of that meme on YouTube of the end of Avengers Endgame, where everyone shows up in the portals, like Shrek shows up, Jack Sparrow, the Transformers,
RoboCop,
the Godfather shows up,
Rocky is probably on there.
Yeah, literally everyone shows up.
Everyone shows up,
and that's how I picture You know, the scene where
with
they're getting overrun by the witches' forces, like the leopards and shit.
You got the blonde guy. It's like, for Narnia!
And then you just push him on the way. Shut the fuck up.
I still can't.
For Brian.
I'm not gonna lie. It's the movie. I mean, I like the book. I'm not gonna lie. You'll never hear me say I prefer the book over the movie. But I actually do prefer the book over the movie when it comes to Narnia. Like, it's a good film, but the book is way better. And also, I think the overarching themes, even though it's supposed to be a heavy Christian book, I feel like they're less heavy than they are in the movie. In the fucking the movie, because the movie's like children of Adam every fucking minute, and it's just like these kids are 17.
Well, then the
12.
the lion's resurrected and shit. You know, like
that was epic though. I'm not gonna lie.
And then in the third film, he's like, in your world, you know me as someone else.
Oh yeah, that was it. Oh my god, you're so right. All right, here, I finally saw the third film. It's not that good, but you're totally right. At the end, he's like, you know me as another name.
By another name.
And he parts the sea.
Yeah.
and then the fucking kids, they're like, we're gone. We're never gonna do the series ever again. And they got Adam Warlock over there. And it's like, I want to be in another film.
He's actually really good in it. He does his best Sebastian impression.
He does, yeah. He excels in like the smarky asshole character in that whole fucking movie.
I want to see a version of Narnia where Sebastian's in it and the Christian themes are like pumped up to 11.
Oh my god!
But here's the thing, right? Is that he's like, you are not supposed to exist.
Oh my god!
When he sees the lion and. He sees
the resurrection. What's this?
This is not.
This is an Easter Sunday.
This is not scientifically applicable.
Where's the bunny?
All right, let's actually talk about the film.
That is such a jarring transition. Christian lines. Let's talk about my movie.
Now let's talk about the real film we're actually discussing here. Okay, the one that
has other heavy Christian themes in it.
Listen, in the thumbnail you will not see Narnia. You will see this film.
You will see this film.
And this film,
when I'm in your film, it's heavy Christian film. It's a Christian film now.
Right.
I hope you know.
Yeah, you know. You're fired. All of you guys are fired.
I just signed an NDA.
So the movie we're going to be talking about is actually something that might be a point of contention for us here, because we're fans of it from two different ends of the spectrum.
Yes,
I think.
Of course. No.
We're going to talk about the original Star Wars from 1977, I believe.
Oh. Here we go.
No, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, all right?
Yes.
I preface this.
I have a scissor in my hand. I'm getting ready.
Where's my lightsaber?
I have my Dracula.
My Kyber crystals. Here's the thing, all right? The reason it's force. I knew a kid back in elementary school who would like, whenever he would get pissed at like a chick or something, he'd point his hands like this, and be like, God. Force.
I choke you.
Force on my lap. Here's the thing.
Yes.
So I keep on doing it.
Yeah, you keep fucking flick. You'll never be a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
I preface this as the first film, the original Star Wars.
Yes.
Back when it was Star Wars. We're not talking about. We can talk about how it's become part of
a bigger franchise.
You know, the pop culture and everything.
Of course, yes.
But we're specifically going to talk about the first film.
Yes.
Because it is a very. It's an influential film for all sorts of filmmakers. A cultural landmark.
Icon.
One of the first blockbusters, as it were.
Exactly.
And this is a movie that I think you and I both love.
Yeah. I think if you don't universally love the first film, something's wrong with you.
Somewhere in space, this may all be happening right now.
Because even if you either love the prequels, hate the prequels, sequels, whatever.
Yeah.
The original
there's only
film...
hate for the sequels. I hope you know.
Well, see, and I won't argue that right now.
All right, we'll save that
because we gotta keep moving. But the point is, this movie is the beginning of something that expanded, obviously, and thank God it is as tight as it is. It's as memorable as it is. it's a beautiful film. The
is.
original Star Wars about Luke Skywalker finding his destiny, learning about the ways of the Force, learning about how the Empire has its grasps through planets and is now destroying planets at this point.
Yeah, so speaking of aliens,
Let's talk about immigration.
Let's talk about immigration.
But this movie is it's fantasy, it's a western, it's romance in some areas, it's adventure and sci-fi. It has everything.
To the classic Japanese samurai films as well.
World War II serials as well.
A lot of I'm not even gonna lie. There's a lot of cool influence with Sentai Warriors and what's the other thing, like Godzilla and stuff like that? With
well, and also I think one of the biggest ones is Akira Kurosawa films. Like Seven Samurai and Rashomon. There's a lot of influence from all over the place. I mean, there's even some, I'm a big comic book fan. There's even some influence there of the Darth Vader is partially being influenced by Doctor Doom from Marvel Comics. Obviously, is freaking epic. I mean, come on, it's the best. But so when did you first watch the original film, Star Wars?
My first time?
Yeah, your first time watching.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't fully remember, but the times I've ever watched it was always at my grandmother's house on the original VHS tape and stuff. I would put it in the VHS. My grandma would make me quesadillas and like some milk. Yeah. Or like chocolate milk. I sit down on the couch and I just watch.
Not blue milk?
Not blue milk, no. And then we would just watch the OG Star Wars. She had all 3 copies, all on VHS and stuff. All original 3.
Were they special editions or theatrical editions?
No, they were just the first cut, I think.
Yeah.
I think maybe the first one was a special and stuff like that, but the other 2, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, those were regular. Yeah.
Well, I love all the original trilogy, as it were. But for me, I think the one that I've watched the most is the original Star Wars film, which is crazy because I would imagine it would be Return of the Jedi that I watched the most, and that's probably the one you watched.
That
the most,
is
right?
the one I watched the most. Yes.
Yeah,
and I would say that's my favorite Star Wars film.
Yeah, right.
You shut up right now. Don't look at me that
No,
way.
I love Return of the Jedi, man. I love it. But this one, I feel like it's kind of the most pure in a sense. You know what I mean? I was listening
to... A very humble beginning.
Yeah, like there are certain aspects to the film that are kind of like, that are dated in a way of like, they didn't really know what Star Wars was yet. Like they pronounce Leia as Leia. Yeah. Things like that. Things that are like, okay, we're setting the groundwork, we're planting the seed here, and now as lore has expanded and films have been made, and at this point now multiple series have been produced. Yeah. Now it's kind of flourished into something.
Yeah. And the books.
And the books.
Legends. the best universe. Thing of all time.
What's that one
Mara
comic?
June.
Well, there's this comic of Luke and Leia stranded on a planet, on like a swamp planet, and it really pumps up the romance between them.
Anyone in the comments know, please write it down.
Window into the Mind's Eye or something like that.
I gotta know this one.
Yeah,
I gotta see for myself.
I gotta do some reading. But even with that, I mean, that's another thing that is like that. If one of those planting seeds moments is the relationship between Luke and Leia. Yeah. Obviously,
thank God it did not go anywhere.
Well, obviously, it was not planned for them to be siblings at the very end. And if it was, these people are dirty.
These people are sick.
They're sick. They're disgusting. Yeah. But
Luke being real proud of himself. Oh yeah, I kissed my sister.
I imagine we get a book that comes out where Luke knew the whole time. That the moment he saw her, the hologram, he was like, that feels like a sibling.
Oh my God. I wonder during his training with the younglings in the sequels if he ever thought to himself, man, I really fucking made out with my sister.
or if he says like, man, I could have tapped that ass and I just let it go. My morals got the better of me.
got the better of me. He's looking at Ben's face, and it's like, I kissed your mom.
I could have been your
I
dad.
could have been your dad.
And your uncle.
And your uncle.
But what is it about this film that you think has laid a whole bunch of generations into this level of fanaticism?
I'm not gonna lie, from my perspective, I think the simplicity of it makes it so enjoyable and watchable and rewatchable for people.
Yeah.
I think when we watch modern films today, especially like even the newer Star Wars films, and this is the one thing I gotta admit about the prequels, as much as I love them, I can't rewatch them within the same month or even within the same year. I gotta wait a time because it feels too manufactured, too much CGI. There's not enough practical, and there's not enough campiness. You know, because I love that people don't like the campiness of Star Wars. I love it because I think that's what gives it the spirit. And the first movie has enough comedy in it and has enough seriousness. I mean, you got guys' fucking arms chopping off with the lightsaber, bleeding out everywhere. And you got Luke over here and Han being like, but is space, is the Force, is the Christian Force real? I'm a non-believer.
Where's the line?
Where's the line? Why I'm a non-believer.
I'm Sebastian.
But
Sebastian is Han Solo, and
don't say that.
And
don't ever tell him that.
he is Han Solo while also being C-3PO.
I swear, dude. I'm like Finn. Like my potential was there, and they destroyed it. But no, fucking.
I'm Finn because I want to be black.
I swear to God.
It's like, but my uncle, my uncle, he gave me the pass to be Finn.
We're gonna get canceled so bad, and I'm so
Episode
ready.
1.
I'm so ready. We're dying after this, but no.
Let's blow this thing and go home.
What's his name again? Gracious Crumb.
Salacious Crumb.
Salacious Crumb. Wait. The best part about Return of the Jedi, real quick sidetrack, is the
No, it's not.
The fucking sing along.
Jesus.
Boba Fett standing in the corner. He's like, "Oh yeah, this is music right here.
This is the jam.
This is the jam right here. This is jizz."
I'm surprised in the special edition you didn't voice Boba Fett.
Oh my God.
I'm like, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
my clone genitals are so elated.
Right. Well, on the campiness, and I kind of mentioned it already, of the first film.
Yes.
Even though this is later expanded upon, but like the music is awesome. You know, the soundtrack is
the music saved it.
Yeah. It brings what we see from just an emptiness, especially when it comes to the sands of Tatooine and the space. It makes it feel like it's ever expansive, but you're so stuck on this one journey that's so powerful that it's literally leading towards the end or the beginning of everything. And I find that interesting. Also, side note, I love that they canceled the terminology for space jazz from jizz into now Waz or something like that. So hashtag bring back jizz for Star Wars.
It was canon at
It
one time.
it was canon.
Before the Disney
It
era.
identified as jizz. They ruined it.
This could have been a great
This
franchise.
could have been a great franchise. 9 out of 10. Could have used more space jizz.
I need some more blue milk and space jizz. You know, I think that's going to be the title of this podcast from now on.
Oh my God.
Space jizz.
Space jizz.
It floats.
If I no.
Yeah, obviously, when we were watching it in Lake Tahoe that night that I had the problem
almost died,
where
yeah.
I nearly died,
Yeah.
we were watching it, and there's a point where I'm cheering on the couch while we were watching it, and it was that scene. It's that iconic scene of Luke looking at the suns, the music crescendos and everything. He's longing. I heard a quote from George Lucas, or actually it was an interview hosted by Seth MacFarlane of all people.
Interesting.
Where he asked what the sun represents to George Lucas, and Lucas thinking outside of the box, which I always thought was really interesting and really, I always liked that. I thought that was pretty on point. And the fact that there are two suns, that means there are two boxes that we have to think outside of.
Honestly, I thought maybe hope would have been better. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then two suns, maybe that represents like new beginnings, like evil and good or something like that. But that's interesting. A box,
like thinking
outside the box.
Like obviously, when we feel trapped, we want to find a way of escaping. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what Luke is feeling in that. Through that whole movie, actually.
Oh yeah.
And obviously,
I want to go to the Tashi station.
I wanted to go to the whorehouse.
Oh my God.
The brothel.
All right, I hate that. It's not a whorehouse. I hate that everyone is. I know he emphasized. I want to go to Tashi station. Get some power converters. Oh my God. But like,
it's a respectable establishment. Biz. Or what was his friend's name? Not Binks. What's it?
Biz.
His friend who went off to the Biggs, right?
Biggs, yeah. Biggs Darksaber.
Biggs was a pimp, I think.
Biggs was a pimp.
Yeah.
I actually have currently a Biggs on my Star Wars Galaxy Heroes free on the Apple App Store. You can get that at any point of time. Darth Revan, the Savage from the Old Republic, has just
dropped.
The non-canon fucking dropped ad that I put on here. It's a cool game.
See, that shit wouldn't. That dumbass shit you were explaining just now wouldn't have existed without this great film. Hey,
dumbass, dude. Darth Revan's cool as shit. Darth Revan.
Darth Bane.
Dude, he's awesome. Those guys are cool. Darth Nihilus. He eats planets.
I'm Darth Nihilus.
All right, shut the fuck up. He's awesome. He prays and he eats a whole planet.
Not anymore. He's not canon.
Oh my God.
See, that's
in my eyes, he's more canon than fucking Rey Skywalker. I'm Skywalker.
I'm a true player.
What's your name? Skywalker. Skywalker.
See, we're talking about the first film.
More of a
we're talking about the first film. Right, cool. Well, that's because of slavery, but
indentured servitude.
Which is established in the original film.
Yeah, there's slavery in there.
Cool.
Nice. Your father was a slave.
The one thing that remained canon.
The one thing, slavery.
Slavery. Yeah.
Also, can we just talk about those landscapes of natural beauty?
Oh yeah.
Like that. I feel like that also gives like. It's cool right here. I'm gonna derail a little bit with like the newer shit, like with the shows and stuff. I kind of like that when they have establishing shots or new shit that they're bringing in. I love that they're not emphasizing too much on the space aspects, but on the planets themselves. I love that they're getting like physical places, taking beautiful screenshots, using that as like markers to make up their reality, and it's just like it's here. You know? It's really cool. I mean, it's not like they could go fucking outer space and shoot it there, but like it's cool that like something so basic, especially with the first film, that just the plain desert was used to create a whole new planet alone with just music and beautiful cinematography and the characters is awesome.
And also like the kind of set dressing they would do, where they would like you see the skeleton of an alien in the desert.
Dragon.
Yeah, the dragon. You see, I mean, adding another sun, or it's not even. Is it even it's a star?
Sun.
Well, a sun is a star, so I guess. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. What are you, Sebastian? It's a dual sun. It's a dual sun.
Yeah. So just adding another sun to the sky, does a lot to establish. Oh, this is
otherworldly.
Yeah, this is otherworldly, and this is talking about a film from like back in the late 70s doing this, you know what I mean, having this kind of imagination, having the effects that it does that in relatively speaking hold up in many ways. Like a lot of the methodology of shooting miniatures stop motion and everything.
Oh my God, yeah,
you know,
dude.
and
I don't know if you've ever seen that infamous clip of like the miniatures of Empire Strikes Back.
Oh yeah,
and Lucas or whoever was directing that film,
Irvin Kershner.
Irvin Kershner,
yeah,
and they're in the backdrop, and it's just like the many pictures and like paintings of the stormtroopers all in that beautiful, like that was one shot,
yeah,
and very detailed,
yeah,
but it was just like fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, miniature work is always really cool, and movies like this are they're the best that do it. They're the best.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching Batman '89, and there's a shot where they try to do the whole miniature thing. They have like a miniature Gotham.
Yeah.
It's when the Batwing crashes.
Yeah.
When Joker, he shoots the Batwing and it crashes into the streets, and you see this model of the Batwing, and it's on an obvious miniature set.
Yeah.
And the cars look like little toy cars and everything.
Yeah.
So it shows like even in like a big movie like Batman for that time.
Yeah. Miniature.
There's still always going to be something better, and and the original trilogy does that in spade. Like it takes me out of it sometimes, like, or it doesn't take. I'm sorry, it doesn't take me out of it.
Yeah, it puts you into it.
It puts me into it when I see Obi-Wan and he's on that long pillar in the Death Star and he's turning off the thing.
Oh yeah,
and it's a map painting that they cut out and put his, the footage in, and it's seamless. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You imagine that's an empty canvas, but you know what that has to do with?
Mm-hmm.
It's our imagination and our minds that can't perceive the foreign or the alien. So when we see planets and sci-fi, we can relate to it in a weird way more than reality. Because like with Batman, like we can obviously it's fake because we know what a city is. We know what a night sky is supposed to be, but we don't know what a ship is supposed to be. And even in the introduction of the Death Star, that alone is so cool. A big ass planet that can destroy bigger planets,
actual planets,
with one shot, and
one shot, no scope.
But like,
fuck Alderaan. Those liberal
they're
hippies.
terrorists. I don't care what anyone says. The Empire did nothing wrong. A great video on Robot Chicken with Darth Vader like, "Oh yeah, I killed the terrorists."
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Hey, join the dark side. It's pretty cool, yo.
You're turning Darth Vader into Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney, yeah. But no, so like that perception of knowing that we don't know what that is, it's our first imagination, especially for all those people in the 70s. I mean, they grew up watching like a lot of the old-fashioned like monster flicks and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of the what was it like? Like I know that Star Trek was around that time.
Yeah, Star Trek was before. It was definitely like a cheaper TV version of it. Like big at the time, obviously. Influential at the time and everything. But there were like. There were classic horror films. There were the World War II serials. There was like Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, and everything.
Exactly.
You
and
know?
with that, when we look back at, I love Flash Gordon, but when we look back at all those things, there's a level of the extreme on all those films, and I think that Star Wars, for what it did, is a pioneer because it was able to bridge those extremes. It was able to bridge the extreme of horror with the extreme of sci-fi, with the extreme of love, and the extreme of comedy.
And the Western.
And the Westerns and stuff. It was able to bridge everything perfectly. Because with Star Trek, there is serious moments, but it is super campy.
Yeah.
Flash Gordon, it is a super campy shit. And with all the other horror, like alien stuff, it's super scary, but there's nothing, we just see a big-ass tin robot. There's nothing super scary about that. The unknown is what makes it scary. And so, because Star Wars was taking a step further into the unknown, looking at the lives of farmers.
Yeah.
Also, such a boring-ass concept if you think about it. The beginning opens up with terrorists running away from a supreme galactic empire.
Okay, you got to stop calling them terrorists now.
Yes, they are. Rebels. They run away from an extreme galactic empire and they all die. The princess of that rebels are captured and 2 droids live. They land on a fucking boring ass backwards planet where they are found by little Jawa men and are brought to slavery to a farmer. What the fuck is that? But it works because it's looking at what Star Wars is. It's multiple planets with many multicultural aliens and stuff like that intermixing, and it's an interesting journey to see everything plays out so well. And I know a lot of people, like, I know they always complain, like, out of all the planets, you know, but it's cool because it brings kind of that nature back to the Force. Mm-hmm. This invisible thing that we cannot see, but it's played
and
to
it
a lot of
everything.
Yeah, it connects everything. It is connecting the story and the characters to each other because there's something that we kind of a bit of a sense of, you know, if you're believing spirituality or that other stuff. It's a good film when you really look at it, not at its aspects of technology or aspects of storytelling, but when it leaves you thinking on what it does at the end of the day. It bridges everything that we live with, our ideas of what spirituality is, our ideas of what we think the future or space is or aliens are, and it bridges that, and it makes it more palpable for humans to be like, this might be real.
Yeah, and the key into making it feel as real as it is are the characters, you know?
Yeah.
And how human those characters feel, like, especially Han Solo, you know? Han Solo feels very grounded and almost irredeemable at the beginning, you know what I mean? You see what this guy's, I mean, depending on which version you watch, you know, you see what this guy's willing to do to just get by.
He shot first and his head fucking pixelated off his shoulder.
Someone died.
Yeah. At that point, he's an alien.
It was self-defense. Well, he was originally supposed to be an alien, actually.
Yeah, he was.
He was supposed to be like a Swamp Thing.
He was. Yeah, I thought he was supposed to be like Greedo or something like that.
Yeah, he in the original like drawings, he looks like Swamp Thing. It's crazy. I actually saw a copy, but this is kind of a side tangent. Yeah. I saw a copy at this comic book store of the Star Wars, the Dark Horse comic, which is it's an interpretation of the original scripts and original ideas and artwork of Star Wars.
Bring that into canon, and I'll be happy.
I kind of want to pick it up because it was a pretty good price. So maybe who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe tonight.
Yeah, because I know that Chewbacca was supposed to be Zeb's people or whatever.
Yeah. Like he looks like what's the character's name? Zeb
Turan.
Girthweight or something.
Like that. That is not his last name, dude.
Yeah, no, but he was supposed to look like that. Yeah. Obi-Wan, I think, was a different. The original character was called Starkiller.
Starkiller, yeah.
You know,
cool ass name.
It is a pretty dope name.
Fucking. God, I love that game series.
But I gotta talk about how this film possibly has one of the best third acts of any film I've seen.
Yep.
With the exception of The Empire Strikes Back. All right. Because if we're looking at like straight up action adventure, like you want your hero to succeed, this movie, it's a testament to the editing, because this movie is famous for at first being a nightmare in terms of production, and it was saved in the edit, and with the film, with the music and the way it was cut, what was left out and everything.
Yeah.
And this ending where you have the assault on the Death Star, the X-wings, and all the heroes coming in and everything, it's, in my opinion, this might be bold and, you know, pretentious, but I don't care. It is perfect.
You're wearing a beanie indoors. I think you're exceeding at the pretentious.
Bumbling Cinema.
Hot takes.
But in my opinion, the sequence is perfect. And I don't know if you've heard this before, but on YouTube, if you look up audience reaction 1977. Yeah. Of the end of Star Wars, where it's the very end where Luke is in the trench and everything, and he's being chased by Vader.
It's a big ass trench.
Yeah, it's a bit long trench. And he's like, he's being chased and everything, and the music's piling up, and R2 gets fucked up, and he puts away his targeting system.
R2's head fucking gets blown off.
Yeah, like, it's Anakin, I thought you were cool. And then Vader's coming in, and then Han Solo shows up. You hear the crowd freaking cheering, roaring, excited. It's like because it cuts to Han, like, woo!
Became Salacious Crumb at that moment.
Literally, everyone is like, yeah, like that's pretty rare nowadays.
Oh no, extremely.
When
you
go to the movie theater.
Oh no, yeah. I think
even for good movies. You know?
Yeah. I think the only moments I've actually ever seen that real life in cinema has been with that, watching the videos on that. And living physically through the Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
And the Avengers all assembling. And then fucking Chris Pine being like... Chris Evans. My God, there's too many Chris's.
Which
Avengers!
one is it?
And then, what's the other one? When we went to go see The Room. Then every time when the spoon came up, when we threw fucking spoons at the...
No, seeing The Room is in a theater is... It's a fun way, but I was nearly passing out, running out of air in there. Well, and also another recent film, like very recent film that had that kind of audience reaction.
Yeah.
Seeing it in theaters, almost every time I saw it in theaters was the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Really? I cheered for different reasons because I was being bored.
What the fuck is this film?
I was losing my fucking mind.
Oh, no, man. Now I have to have you on again.
Of course.
So we can talk about
that film.
Once Upon a Time.
Oh, my God.
Do you think Star Wars would work as like a play?
As a play?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, it's like you think it can like cross the mediums in that way?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean,
I'm curious how what that would be like.
It works as a burlesque. So, like, it could work as anything at this point. It works as a shitty sequel. It works as awesome TV shows. It works as little kids, like, bedtime story things. It works in all mediums. I'm shocked. I'm surprised that they did a Shrek the Musical before Star Wars the musical.
Nah. Well, Disney's probably going to be like, nah, you ain't doing that shit.
Oh yeah, because they want to keep Star Wars sacred. They want to not taint the fucking name, huh? Even Julius is
just
fucking
got all
laughing
spiteful because you don't want to shit on my mouth.
Shit on. I mean, it could work as a theater. I mean, shit. We Sebastian will tell you when he's back on here, but we did a fucking Marvel theater play. I mean, some of it was all right. There was one of them where I hated, but the other ones were interesting, and that worked in a play aspect, you know. But
why not?
Huh?
I said why not?
Why not? Exactly.
I was behind you, man. Come on.
All right, cool.
Force.
But honestly, I mean, I'm down to see it in like the theater. I mean, look at you. You did a fucking ASMR bullshit podcast of Star Wars, which fuck you. Everyone was like, "Where's the visual?"
Not here.
Look my ass. That's the visual.
You gotta think about it. The visual. Yeah, you know where the visual is? In your mind. We're all connected.
And even the Lego Star Wars like things that we used to watch as kids, you know, like that was awesome. And that's Legos and a shitty camera with a kid being like pew pew pew.
Brian, did you make any of those films?
Yes, I did.
Well, you got to give me the licensing to them so I can post them.
Post them. I think I still have one. I wrote one which was Aliens vs Predators.
Yeah.
And at that point, I loved it, and I had a line that I watched it later on. Hopefully, this doesn't get me canceled, but it was super meta.
Oh,
and I had a black like Marine.
Yeah.
And then one guy who's Australian. It's like, mate, get in there, check the scene, and the black guy's like, why me? I'ma die first. I'm black. This is a horror film. And I instantly had an alien come right behind him.
And you did the voice?
And I didn't do the voice, but I was like,
I think you did the voice. Oh, okay.
And then he laughs and he's like, see? And he's all muffled. He's like, see? I got, you know.
I thought it was gonna be worse.
No.
I thought you're gonna be like, you know, your little 8-year-old self,
racist,
your voice saying, "You are one ugly motherfucker."
I think I did say that one time. I couldn't know how to make the Predators. Predators were hard. I tried my hardest.
Well, we'll talk about Predator one day.
Of course.
In the meantime, you got to get out of here.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Brian, thanks so much for helping me out with this.
It's a great canceling discussion.
Yes.
I can't wait to get canceled after this.
Well, I just hope we have the production equipment we need.
Of course.
Because
Imagine
I'm canceling this order.
Of course. Cancel that. Imagine every time it stopped, it just deleted the prior recording.
Please don't say that. That might happen. Hey, here's to hoping that this podcast goes well.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited to whoever's going to be on next.
Mm-hmm.
And hey. And now. Good talking about Star Wars. I'm glad we actually had a good conversation.
Me too. Yeah.
Star Wars.
Finally, for the first time.
We didn't want to kill each other.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Now when we talk about the prequels now.
Oh my god. Wait,
Argument school. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Stay tuned and bye-bye.
Bye.